I asked Charlie Tart one time what the two might have in common, and he said, well, LSD shows you that the world is constructed, and Buddhism shows you that the world is constructed. I think it opened up, it cracked the solidity of the world being settled. There was nothing more to say about the world. Everything was worked out, and all of a sudden it's not worked out. And everything is fluid, and you're wondering about who you are, what is reality after all? I mean, this is an important question. And what is essential nature? This is the most important question of all. So it was quite the appropriate thing to do, was to seek out, in addition to the visionary experience, which again was exactly the right thing to do. It's what every good citizen should have been doing in that era, in that terrible era of warfare and conformity, and seeking visionary experience was what a good patriot ought to have been doing. And the next step was then, find out what those who have been at this for a couple of thousand years are, what they found out about it. I think it was quite appropriate. And a few of them have stuck to it. It's interesting that among younger Zen students, very few of them have any psychedelic experience. And in conversations with them, they'll go, but I don't understand. Why is it important? It's interesting.
Yeah, it is. And so what do you tell them?
I go, I guess it's not.
But I don't know if my LSD experiences helped me or not.
They did help me. It's real clear on that point. But what one thing I do try and correct is no amount of meditation is going to give you what an LSD experience does.
Yeah, that's an important point.
Forget it. And I see them as complementary. My Zen teacher didn't have any psychedelic experience. Good Zen teacher. But I have wondered if they have different emphases. What I'm calling the poison path, psychedelic experience, meaning working with it in some way through circles, through vision quest. There's wide areas of human development that I'm interested in that Zen doesn't have a lot to say about. Zen doesn't have a lot to say about sex. A couple koans. Zen doesn't have a lot to say about dealing with the inner critic. Doesn't have a lot to say about parents. Doesn't have a lot to say about learning to express yourself. Though many, of course, it's recognized, great Zen teachers are also able to express themselves, and you were expected to be able to paint, to write a poem. But the tools, the psychedelic experience and tools have a big edge as far as certain aspects of coming out, trying something new, learning to improvise, things you've never done before. So I see them as complementary. I do not in any way see that, that old thing that, somehow conflating, LSD experience and enlightenment, as this enlightenment was this thing that you have, and then you quit your practice or you get a degree, or I don't know what you get. Is it called a risen master or something. I don't know what. Uh, you know, in some ways, you have to, with a psychedelic experience, you have to walk over a lot of this terrain that one has seen from the air. Does that make sense? And maybe for people who are seeing it for the first time, walking over the ground, they have experiences that are much more profound than those who have already seen it from the air, as it were. They just go, oh, yeah, okay, right, yeah, right. Whereas people, you know, some people have Kensho experiences, you know, and, you know, they're jumping all around and, you know, crying and, you know, absolutely life-changing experiences. Others, you know, it's kind of, you know, as Aitken used to say, it's kind of like, right. So, yeah, as complementary. It may be, I kind of think there's certain points in Zen training when you should just focus on that, if that's what you're going to do. If you're working on koan practice, you know, there's a very critical stage where it takes such complete concentration and sustained concentration on it that you don't want to break. And you shouldn't. Then you should just do that. But there may be other opportunities.
Yeah.
Salvia Divinorum may have koan answers. That's still a possibility.